live chat again, huh? Fuckery around this bitch. Good morning, welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. And this is not attractive. Let's do the whole blanket thing. Oh yeah, because that's helpful. Because my wife has it sitting over here, a DVD and a bag with something in it. Blankets, go yonder. Pillow, go good side up. Not the torn side at the bottom now. Anyways, does that look like a backdrop yet? Sure, why not? Got my spare trash bags from when I get cigarettes. Because, keep my trash can here. I hawk loogies in it, so why the fuck would I, No, that would be a bad idea. No, that would be disgusting. Never mind. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, and welcome back to the artist formerly known as Lost Begotten channel and stuff, where I'm working on you have my phone. Here, let me see my phone. Can't? Okay. Working on a luxury condo slash office multiplex chainable type thing. And one of those designs I want. World's smallest tiny house. McFlotilla. Oh yeah, McPimpin. Like a McMansion, only better. So anyways, I was thinking about something Mr. Conway had commented. And, what the hell is that? Oh, that's paper towel. Okay. My napkin reserve. When I use napkins, I rip I rip bits and pieces off, which I combine into one word, bitses, apparently. I rip little bitses off my precious, and then I eat them. No. I'll use them for, what they're worth, and then fucking throw them away, and then keep the clean part. And, yeah. That way I don't waste napkins. Just a little OCD strategy I thought I might share. Anyways. Well, Mr. Conway reminded me of one of the more ingenious uses of old milling plates. So a wheel from a stone mill, basically a big wheel made of stone, used to grind other big pieces of stone. once it gets small enough to where it's not useful anymore, um, can be used as a massive hydraulic pressure plate. And if mounted on, say, some spring steel or with a system of pulleys, counterweights, can be equipped as a as sort of a hydraulic water inverter or air pressure inverter. And he brought up the particular use of that as an air pressure inverter for superheating blacksmith furnaces. I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. I can just fucking see that shit. But then I started remembering that was all that shit used to be. And I just started remembering like a whole town worth of fucking plumbing and fucking hot water made from the same source, basically. Like an intricate system to take advantage of that. Made out of copper, which of course would have all fucking disappeared. Because copper tends to do that. I learned that when I was young. Going and just rooting through abandoned houses for like, you know, years and shit. You go in one day, right after that foreclosed or whatever sign was put up there. And then the next day, you have this line ripped out across the whole fucking sheetrock. Somebody came in and got all the copper. Within days. But not to skip around too much, the system I wanted to bring up is actually completely unrelated to that. But it's like this is what made me think of it. You know, I was just thinking of like the whole different town's plumbing system, how like an aqueduct could just be set up anywhere. You know, just advantageously too. Because usually storms bring wind, and if you power your diversion canal with a windmill, it's going to increase its flow rate as the wind picks up. So you can basically start evacuating a river early. Just imagine a whole system of those set up all up and down a river. Basically everybody who was farming would have one of those for every irrigation canal. Taking sediment-rich river water, piping it to the far side of the land, and letting it flow back. Well, there's situations now where there's so little marsh area and so little absorption, and so many things have been diverted, and like levees around rivers, that you get these concentrated swells, and the only way that you could stop that is by creating an opposite swell, by having, I mean, I'm talking thousands of irrigation systems that are wind powered. And what you would probably want to do at this point, because of the, like I said, lack of swamps and levees, is you would want to have above ground diversion pools, and have them typically kept at a level that would be drained at the bottom, okay, to go to the crops, but have like basically massive reservoir capacity just sitting there waiting to be tapped. And then, the windmill, I suppose you'd use solid PVC now, as opposed to, hollowed out oak. But, just, your tubes, whatever kind of tube you would use, the rate it would typically run during a breeze is about yay. Just a little trickle, okay? And that would be enough to irrigate, say, 10 acres, or, linearly, constant flow. But then when the wind picked up, you'd have this augmentation, which is why the little trickle at the low wind days would work. And you'd have that thing on a transmission to where it would be able to spin fast and freely, generating a lot of torque, and get your tube about halfway at full capacity. You wouldn't want you wouldn't want to have the added rigidity of thickness and of support required to fill the pipe more than halfway, in my experience. Because that glugging fucking shakes the whole system and can cause stress fractures over time. But, have it to where in a 40-mile-an-hour sustained wind, it's going to be, and the rest of the light breeze, spin it slowly. And when a storm's coming, before the swell of the river comes, you will have lowered, theoretically, the relative water level. But you're talking, one of these per every quarter mile minimum, minimum, over the entire expanse of a river system. Just little reservoirs here and there, 1,000 or so of them. Hello, everybody. Oh, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. The fuckery, man. The fuckery is just thick. Anyways. Dingo. Don't look at me like that. Like, but I want to lick my dick. I love that little pit bull huff. Anyways, so it's waning here in Slaughter, Louisiana. And I've already blown this out of the water. But this thing's cool. There's a lot of classified systems that are not shown here. And I really like the look of this one. Like, if I were a rich man, this would be the biggest fucking house I would ever want to live in right here. This is cool. It's hyper efficient, dude. And it's got a terrarium. It's got an 8-foot by 8-foot fuck terrarium. that helps light up the inside of the house. Anyways, so I think the most creepy piece of news I've heard so far is that Fox News is basically starting its own Netflix, basically. I mean, I hope they just call it Shillivision, you know? Let's see. Just wow. That's all I can say is just fucking wow. The world is just going down the wrong path in so many ways, and I don't care what side you think you're on, whether you're just like a random atheist or a Catholic or what. None of you people has a plan for the future. None of you has any idea how the fuck to make things better. Everything you do just keeps making it worse. You just keep pushing everyone else further and further away. There are so many different ways humanity is being led right now down the path to war, okay? And the most fucked up part is the ones who want the war seem to know that I can stop the war. I've had so many problems recently. I have had so much problem. Geez, that was a horrible attempt at a Russian accent. See, if I was really Russian, I could have done that shit better. I have had just horrible luck trying to do something. I don't know, I forgot. Horrible luck sending fucking text messages. Apparently, I think somebody's after my designs, because every time I send a design, suddenly I can't send text messages for like 5 minutes. That's fucking weird. But I haven't been able to email, well, I haven't received any emails on my iPhone account since I emailed Robert Mueller. Not one fucking email. I've been getting spammed by Seed Invest, and it's an iPhone account, so you're supposed to get the Apple updates all the damn time, right? Anybody who has an iPhone, you know you get those damn. I haven't gotten one for 10 days. Old guys rule. Yeah, odd as shit. A lot of odd shit going on lately. And like I'm sitting there, my dad's like sending fucking replies back, and I'm not sure he's getting the damn words that I'm sending to him. And like I'm just like, if they can fuck with my communications with my own dad, you know, like Jesus, what the fuck? Conway, howdy howdy. Yeah, that's why one day after we have whatever kind of business success God hopes to provide, or I hope God provides, however I should phrase that, I don't fucking know. We're going to have very specifically individualized men and women's outreach. To make sure that none of our staff members get me too by illicit messages, shit like that. And our battered women's shelters and stuff, that's probably going to be one of the design ones. Every time I design a fourplex or a apartment complex or even a series of duplexes, like a little gated community, I always have a series of sort of strategic fail-safes in place so that the women coming home can't be ambushed getting out of their cars. And like purposely built avenues of escape meant to distract people who aren't familiar with the layout, that kind of thing. So that's Q from Star Trek, right? Not QAnon. Because QAnon is just basically trolling me. That's all QAnon is. That's the fucking Resistance founder did this, so we're gonna do it just to piss him off and silence him out. Wait, is that Emily? Emily's got so many fucking screen names, I can't keep track. No, that can't be Emily, right? You know? That's right, from Australia. I need to figure out how to play Susie Q on the guitar. I can play Foxy Lady. It seems like I should be able to play Susie Q. You know, like they kind of go together. Oh, Susie Q. Anyways. So Conway, were you here when I was just talking about the little concoction that you made, like you inspired me to remember? Windmill irrigation systems designed to compensate in number, basically set up in such prolification, whatever, that in many numbers, lots of them, set up with lots of them, bunches, shit tons, heaping fucking handfuls of irrigation windmills, set up such that when a storm comes, usually wind comes, right? So the wind speeds up the windmills, further increasing the flow of the irrigation diversion and filling up basically reservoirs that are built to be much bigger than they'll typically be filled. And much bigger than we would have had to do in ancient times because there were, you know, swamps and no levees and shit like that. But in ancient times, the way we built interstates, okay, in ancient times, we built waterways. Okay? Just remember that. Suzi Quatro? Yeah, I remember there is some kind of story about that, right? Yeah. Saw it on a VH1 special. Anyways. So should I draw this out in case it's remotely hard to grasp this? Let me draw this out just in case it's remotely hard to grasp this concept. All right. I'm drawing. Just give me a minute. All right. So. What y'all talking about? Eh. Oh, you gotta listen to the rain? Yeah. Oh, it's just a pleasant little storm. That's all. So, here you have a river, okay? Here you have a town, and here you have like farmland and shit. And maybe there's like a little industrial plex, like, you know, like Dow Chemicals or something like that, right? Or like, you know, oil factory or refinery, right? Um, Basically, windmills, okay? Windmill, windmill spinning around. I sit on it and I fall on the ground. Okay. So the windmill makes the water go up, and then it travels down a slopey little drain type pipe to a reservoir. Okay. Say a mile away, 2 miles away, 5, 10, fucking 20 miles away. How far do you need it to travel You just make this damn thing powered by either the river or the wind or both. So it should have torque depending on flow and potential for disaster. Okay. Power free. Okay. And you can have it just shoot the water, with little cups, or have a turbine and pump it up, or whatever you fucking need to do. I would use little cups back in the day because, we didn't have fucking electric turbines, but you could have this basically powering a generator and then powering a turbine or whatever. There's a lot of different ways to do this. But the faster the water flows and the faster the wind goes, the water gets pumped up higher and then goes down your tube to your reservoir, okay? A mile away or so. On the other side of some farmland. To another village. To whoever wants some fucking water, okay? Here, for instance, it's shown going to an irrigation reservoir. Now, you see, the irrigation reservoir would need to be deeper than it would need to be to operate as an irrigation reservoir so that it could handle as much flood capacity as it could. Okay? And you would want to have, instead of some sort of an overflowing canal system, you would want to have a valve for output at the bottom. All right? And of course, if you ran a protein skimmer in there, you could probably get yourself some biodiesel for free. But another thing is to decrease the amount of ammonia and increase the amount of beneficial nitrate for growing plant matter. You need sort of a cascading waterfall system to begin with, okay? So you don't necessarily want this pipe to be smooth. If you have to build it out of smooth pipe, I would suggest having at the outlet point some sort of stack of calcareous rocks or lava rocks, okay? So that water would be able to undergo a nitrogen cycle and reduce itself to nitrates before being pumped into irrigation canals. So that way, basically, instead of adding problems, you're adding fertilizer with good old polluted Mississippi River water. And then, of course, in the instance of a town, you could have this same system pumping water into filtration systems or whatever for your river reservoirs. You could have towns selling water to California. You could have this going to a train station, to a filtration station with a conjunction function. I don't know. Conjunction, junction. What? Okay, no, I'm sorry. Let's just look at the fucking fish tanks instead. Anyways. So that's my free earth-saving idea of the week. Petticoat Junction. I was just talking about how I used to watch Petticoat Junction when I was little. Like, how the hell did my fucking parents, really? Going to fucking church fucking 20 goddamn times a week, and we're fucking watching Petticoat Junction and Ripley's Believe It or Not, and Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World, and Mr. Ed, fucking demon-possessed horse. Wilbur was some kind of warlock, I don't know. Oh, and Flipper, the demon-possessed dolphin. I love Flipper. It hurts me to say that. But it's fucking hilarious. They call him Flipper, Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see gets more tail than he. Wait, what? And we know Flipper, Flip. Uh, hmm. And we know Flipper likes to lead mortals to blunder, casting asunder all that he sees. Yes, Clifford. No, not Clifford. Oh fuck, Clifford. I didn't even forgot about Clifford, the giant demon-possessed red dog. But Flipper, man, Flipper. Just picture Flipper as like Vishnu. That's fucking hilarious. Flipper, the destroyer of worlds, doing little flips for treats. Salty Shaker. But now, see, like Clifford, man, I always thought Clifford was the only thing that could take down the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I don't know why. That's just like, I saw the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and I'm like, quick, somebody call Clifford. He will tear that shit up. Clifford loves some fucking marshmallow pie. What about donuts? Oh, Don Knotts is your husband. Uh, I mean, I appreciate it, but this is the look of no maintenance and no water changes, people. This is. I just try to keep it from fucking getting clogged and overflowing. And I'm spending all of my time when I'm not live streaming, either taking care of family shit or trying to design as many real estate development options as I can so that when the opportunity arises, I will have contingencies for a board to pick from, basically. But this fucking fourplex here, it's like luxury condos slash like could even be considered efficiencies. The individual office spaces are so big, be made into like a complex of efficiency apartments or dorms, or definitely luxury office suites is the primary intention, or a luxury home. Uh, but I have basically, if it were equipped as shown as a luxury home, it would be 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. And every single bathroom has a tub and a stand-up shower in it, and a double vanity sink. And the fucking efficiency in which they managed to get placed is, oh, it tickles me. No wasted space. Each one of those bathrooms is, I think, what is that? 7 foot by 12 foot. And the 2 extra bathrooms are lined up to where they can be just converted into extra closet space. Bedrooms are gigantic. The closets are gigantic. And it's mostly tickling my fans. Like this is just like a wonderful little grid of fucking real estate here. Um, the whole system is designed to float with vehicles. It will save your cars. And as per Neville's request, this particular unit will feature a floor at an 8-foot elevation, capable of floating with complete structural integrity an additional 4 feet, and with reductions in structural integrity up to an additional 4 feet, total of 16 feet. And if the fucking water gets higher than 16 feet, just float away and start a new human civilization somewhere, you know? But like, I found a way. Basically what I'm doing here, you know, because I'm fucking John of Alexandria, and there's a lot of ancient architecture that they've made a lot of attempts to be, you know, and to attribute to different civilizations here and there. But if you trace back story, my lineage is a consistent little pattern of what looks kind of like a broken pyramid, a step pyramid. But I've incorporated a series of concepts into my new edition of step pyramid. So the idea is ruins and seeing how just kind of like the corners of walls are still there, mostly. It's like shit gets toppled and kind of pretty consistent order with its structural integrity. Used a structure like that, basically built a ruin as your foundation, and then find a way. I've got a very complex but relatively easy to build and low cost system to float my buildings, like a buoyancy anticipation system, basically. But there's a lot of simple ways you can just make this shit float inside the bricks, you know. Just fucking tie barrels to the bottom of it. They've done it in a lot of places as far as the floating part, but what they need to do is make the brick structure around it. Okay, so just design your brick structure based on, okay, if I built this whole house out of brick, and then the Scythians came and sulfur bombed it, what would be left? It's good that I can laugh about these things now. Can't laugh about the whole anyways. Yeah, I mean, you know, 2,000 years, I don't hold a grudge. Much. Oh, maybe. A little. Anyways. So where's mine? Mine's in the camera? There's mine. So I've got this big, like, vast plan that just both takes more than I can put forth in the time that it would take, and it's just the wrong time of year with the holidays and the wife having some kind of different event every fucking weekend, you know? On top of the things that are like mandatory, like Christmas and our anniversary and her birthday and then my birthday and then New Year's and then, well, New Year's and my birthday. But it's all crammed into one little fucking 2-month time period, right? And I've got Caulerpa just overgrowing that reef tank over there. I have to like liberate my corals. And I want to take all the Caulerpa rocks and put them in here, and take some rocks that don't have Caulerpa on them from my sump and from different other places, and that nice pretty Tunga branch over there before it gets infested, and put that in there, break all my coral off of those rocks, put that shit on the clean rocks, and then have one little tank that isn't infested with Caulerpa. Because let me just tell you, I made a mistake. And I knew it was a mistake at the time. But I had that thought that every reefer has when they make a mistake that they should have fucking known. That thought was, how bad could it be? Oh, yes, yes. See, like with that Picasso trigger right there, I knew that was a mistake that I was willing to make. You know, how bad could it bead myself to death with that one? All right. And, you know, he's really getting big enough to bring to a fish store now. He's starting to get downright intimidating. I worry about Leo, the little male clownfish in there. But that's all I got there. That's all I got. So I got this one rock from Rick's before he closed down, before he sold his shop to that little Frodo looking dude. This one rock had 4 beautiful green striped mushrooms on it. And this Caulerpa that I had never seen before. And I like Caulerpa sometimes. I'm open to, you know, seeing what new species are like. I should not have left that mushroom rock in that tank, but I needed those mushrooms to get the light that was in that reef tank, so I peeled that fucking Caulerpa off there as best I could. With, you know, trying not to dislodge the mushrooms. And I set it in that corner right there. And I kept it away from shit, and I tried to let the mushrooms grow, and I tried to keep the Caulerpa from getting onto my rocks, and eventually it rocked because it had already shot clean around the back of it, and I was just cleaning the front, and then it was just everywhere. It was all down the back of the entire fucking aquarium, back behind those rocks, and then there was no keeping up with it. Now, if you're looking for a type of Caulerpa that I have a lot of positive experience with, the Prolifera, which is what you see filling that 10-gallon down there and waving back and forth in the middle of there. Although it doesn't wave very well in there because the triggerfish and the angelfish and the damselfish all eat it. But in here, there's just a pair of True Perks. And, boy, I need to harvest some of that Caulerpa because it's, it's overgrown. And of course, I have more of that in the bottom tank over there. And in the blue tub, I try to grow Codium mostly. And Codium is the ideal nano Caulerpa. If you're in Slurpa, Codium is definitely the way to go. One day I will have shit tons of it for sale, hopefully. But that's Caulerpa prolifera or Caulerpa mexicana that grows in the long, manageable, wavy segments. And what makes it so manageable is that the root will come up off the rock. Get really bad, it stays pretty damn strong. And it doesn't break off and have little tiny bits that grow back like a fucking weed. And you can grow it out and harvest it and grow it out and harvest it. And you can, like, I've successfully kept the prolifera right there in the middle of that reef tank. It's that other bullshit Caulerpa that's spread everywhere. That one type of Caulerpa, I think, should be used to enhance sandbars in Louisiana or off the coast of Louisiana, to help with offshore phosphate reduction and to help keep those sandbars in place during storms. Well, we got up to 11 viewers at once for a second there. Must be the multiple troll account person. Just saying. I would find it hard to believe if, like, a bunch of actual people managed to find the broadcast. Anyways, but thank you to anyone and everyone who is actually joining and enjoying the view and the conversation. And there's plenty of people active in the chats, so feel free to open up your chat and say hello to everyone. Introduce yourself if you haven't already. We're going to be going for probably another 40 minutes or so here, with what equates to the only AOL chat room left in the world. That's what this is. This is just the AOL chat room in disguise. Hello, new person. And, Osmed Johnson. Cool. Is that like a play on Ahmed? Anyways. Excuse me. Just had to take a visit to Mount Wanahockaloogie right quick. Oh look, I found Nemo. And his brother, and his sister, and his mother, and his uncle. Speaking of which, where the hell are my clownfish? What are y'all doing? Y'all are laying eggs, are you? What are y'all doing? Don't be laying eggs. Hmm. Where's the camera? Where am I? Who am I? Oh yeah, okay. I'm Flipper, Flipper, faster than... Okay, never mind. No, I'm not Flipper. My mom was Flipper. With the fucking remote control. Oh, man. Y'all remember, like, cable TV? Like, when those digital remotes first came out, it was a big pain in the ass for you, you know? But when somebody else had the remote, it was kind of nice. Because they couldn't just go pup, 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 pup. Those old school cable remotes, man, they could change that fucking channel like that. Oh yes, then there's the flippers on the radio station. Just can't fucking decide on what to goddamn listen to. See, that's why you always keep a CD in the deck. So when somebody starts fucking with your radio, you just hit the CD button. We're going to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, man. I don't know whether that was fucking Akira or Alicia Keys or Felicia Flipnut or whatever the fuck, but you know. Bye, Felicia. Although an Alicia Keys CD would probably be pretty cool too. Yeah. I tell you what, I think my new favorite jam on the radio in the car, like in the CRV sound system, you know, because my car doesn't even have a fucking radio that works. I don't even think I have the radio fuse installed. Like, it's like, I don't even bother with it. But my wife's radio works good. The CRV's radio works great. And my new favorite song to listen to, it has to be Funky Town. Bam, but won't you take me to Bam, but Funky Town? Bam, but won't you take me to Bam, but Funky Town? Bam, but won't you take me to Bam, but Funky Town? Boom, but won't you take me to... Da, 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 da. Okay. Right? That song is amazing. It's just fucking amazing. Oh. Listen to that shit and try not to have a good day. I mean... That's like celebrate. Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. That song is like a prophecy fulfilled. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Or, you know, say no more if you don't stutter. Woohoo! Starting to want to get the guitar out now. I should play. Play. I still haven't found my fucking guitar strings. What about those fucking golf shoes? No, like, I have looked in so many places. And you know, it's. You ever, oh, God, I fucking. Mm, I put it somewhere. I didn't lose it. See, if I lost it, I would have fucking found it by now. You know, just set it down without thinking. Oh, no, 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 no. It was somewhere. And I had a better idea of where it should be for safety reasons or convenience or whatever I was thinking at the time. Apparently, I was trying to hide it from ninjas. Oh. Fucking thing just used to be right up there. Used to be just right up there on top of that fucking shelf up there. Just a box full of guitar strings, waiting for me to need them. Then it got moved up there into that shelf behind, you know, like before the Wuzzles got moved over there. Oh man, it was a 5-pack. And I think I've only used one, maybe two of them. There's literally 3 brand new, possibly 4 brand new fucking sets of strings. Oh, congratulations. Hope you go to hell. Well, I can guarantee it. That's not something to be proud of. Like, seriously. That's like being proud of, you know, I woke up this morning and, instead of putting my pants on, I just set my dick on fire. Congratulations, you're a fucking idiot. You know, come on. And I thought I was about to run out of material. Celebrate, incompetent trolls, come on. It's like, hey, look at me, I'm a Russian hacker. I'm one of the reasons Donald Trump is president. Yeah, we know. Mm. You know the difference between, say, a Russian internet troll and a vaginal wart? Um, One is a disgusting, hideous lump of flesh that makes people just not want to have sex. And the other is a vaginal wart. Oh man, I just got him going today, huh? Wait, are the Russian trolls hiring cigarette gremlins now? Because I can't find my cigarettes. Damn it. Touche, Russian trolls, touche. I'm kidding. Where'd my cigarettes go? wait. Was I done with that pack? I think I was done with that pack. Dun 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 dun. So, am I supposed to be impressed by basically someone who's not intelligent enough to avoid self-destructive tendencies? Like, hi, we're the people who are too stupid to realize that destroying the earth would kill us. And we're proud of it. You want a cookie? Hi, we're the people who've never actually done anything productive for the world. So we just kind of conquer shit and take other people's shit and steal their children and use knowledge of indigenous languages to go and attack more people. That's what, I mean, it's either your ancestors are the victims of the horde or your ancestors are the horde. So take your pick. You should either flee for safety or you should flee for dishonor. Take your pick. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Troll. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Balls. Yeah. I had to. Did I get that lined up just right? See, they can't just let us have our little virtual AOL chat room. No. Because they went way out of their way to destroy AOL. Because they've made a geopolitical strategy out of being butthurt. A bunch of snowflakes that they are. Putin's the and reconnecting and reconnect, and I think we're back. And right as I said, Putin was the snowflake Mandarin chief. Oh, look at that. We had a little hop, didn't we? Well, how else would you describe someone who makes a geopolitical power play based on the strategy of butthurtness? Not only butthurtness among his own people, but basically causing other people to be butthurt with each other. This from the nation whose #1 porn search result is anal. Oh, but who was it? Tiger Dan says that Sodom and Gomorrah is in Russia. That has nothing to do with y'all's thing for brimstone, does it? Oh, yes, it's a more twisted, deeper story than most people know, but I know the real story. In due time, dearies, in due time. I'm sure the first time I'll tell that story is the first time I'll actually talk to a Jehovah's Witness. How about that? I suppose that should verify that I know the correct one. And for those seeking reason for a vengeful God, you're welcome to speculate based on things I've previously revealed. Yakovah. Talented kid. But really? Geopolitical butthurtness? That's how you're going to solve things? That's basically everybody's strategy right now. No matter what side you're on, if you haven't found this one little fucking corner of reason in the world that Russia hates because it's the corner of reason in the world, that I get the multi-account trollbot fucking commander guy just popping in to try to be impressive. Y'all keep doing you, boo. I've got backup plan after backup plan after backup plan after backup plan, even on humanity itself. You see, before this singular, mostly, universe, this plane of planes, there was an entire multiverse that was destroyed just so you kids could have a chance. Just consider that as you plot your rebellion against God himself. I, for one, know that at least if I'm fucking crazy, I'm doing what God wants me to do. But anyways, play any given philosophy out to its end. How much blood is down every single path? How much ruin? How much digression? How much of a refurberance of genetic isolation and degradation should humanity itself endure? Because as you thin out yourselves, you thin out other indigenous life forms. And then every species on the planet becomes more susceptible to disease and deformity. So yes, bravo. Congratulations. Your cookie waits. Anyways. That was heavy. What a coincidence that this should be such a natural way for me to sit. Wah, 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 wah. See it again? And now, somebody call Domino's and order some hookers and blow. Wait, what? I had to say something to break the tension. Does the chat still work? Is everybody just like struck in silence? Shit, is he gonna smite something? I think he's gonna smite something. No, no. No smoting or smotting or smooting today. Just enjoying a pretty little storm. But that pretty little storm is gonna find its way straight to people that were here this day. And when it strikes with all its might, let's hope that those will see its light and come to know true earthen fright as mortals tremble in God's delight. Wait, I thought I was supposed to be reducing the tension, not casting a spell on trolls. Man, that was nice. I didn't think I had it in me. A little rusty, you know, a little rusty. Skittish tunes, very skittish. But I guess for now, I'll wait. All back of the bus and shit. I reserve the right to quote anything that's jocking my style to begin with. Anyways. Fuck. Oh. I found my cigarettes and I've lost my lighter. Good job, dumbass. Phenomenal cosmic powers. Itty bitty attention span. They're gonna fire! See what I did there? I combined several horrible jokes to make one little thing that was almost funny. Yeah, I know. Fascinating. So is the chat still working? What the hell? Genie is my husband too. Quick to the Zippo Mobile. No, I'm a chief. Go figure. Oh, okay. It just wasn't popping up. Y'all were chatting with each other, but I couldn't see. That's cool. Oh, Low battery mode. That might be why. Alright. If only there were a way to do this without killing the view of the fish tanks. Alright. Hold on a sec. Here. Have a look at the extra large. Oh, okay. And we're walking, and we're walking, and we're walking. And the cord still doesn't reach. And pulling out the power strip. And, oh, okay. That's not even fucking plugged in. Alright. We've got to get into this bullshit. Where's my fucking Gorilla Tape? Gorilla Tape! Soy Benito! Bong. Okay. And yeah. Fucking shit. No, it's still not gonna work. Alright, gonna pull the table out like that. Ah! Okay. There we go. Progress, but that fucking cord's too tense. Oh, come on, you fucker. Stop being a communist. Oh, there we go. Okay. We are a little obstructed. That way. There we go, it's a little better. Pretty sure we can do without the shit there. So let's put up something. A little cartoon of Obama sitting on his hands while Trump steals the election. That is horrible, but you know, it's better than the random receipts that were sitting there. All right. Oh yeah, that boy's got some explaining to do for me. Like, I play ball, but you know, at the moment there was nothing else he could do, and there was still shit he should have done. I got to call it like it is, you know. Now you see, most of this shit that's on this table, I didn't even put on this table. I tell you what, when it all comes down to it, there's still a slight likelihood that Obama himself was compromised. Because I had certainly presented that he had been compromised on a propaganda basis, but that he, like so many of the liberals who are no longer with us for, different peculiar reasons, saw through the game plan. And up until the point, I'll say this again, okay, like, hold up. When was Seth Rick murdered? Who knows about when? No, it wasn't 2017 sometime. It was in the summer of 2016, before the election. I'm just not sure whether it was August or before that. Was it as far back as 2015? Yes, please look it up. Because what I want to know, that Sean Way, I'm rolling with that. What I want to know if Sean Way could help with remembering, that I know I've claimed before with fresher memory than I have now. Early on in the channel, July 2016, there we go. Early on in the channel, we saw a lot of evidence of some indirect or possibly even direct connection between my continued information stream, as I had basically sent proper communications to putting myself out here as bait for them, and continuing to give them advice as I had been since October of 2008. Ever since the line with the gas stations, like, you can't make it to the gas station. What the fuck are you eating, Petey? Holy shit. Okay. Every time I see him eating something like considerable and like I can't see Leo, I'm just like, anyways. On MySpace, you could see when people read your messages, all right? And when I first started sending the Obama campaign messages, before that I was a Kerry supporter. At that point, I really didn't like Hillary Clinton, okay? And now I'm staring at Colorpo floating around in the tank. Let me go ahead and grab that while I continue to speak. How'd it go? Well, on MySpace, when I first started sending them little tidbits of advice and insight, it would be 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 12 hours on weekends and shit like that, before my messages were read. Between sending the about it being hard to get a job when you don't even have enough money to make it to the gas station, let alone the job interview. Okay. That line right on fucking MySpace in 2008. And between that time and the time that I sent them the PPIP, there was 3, 5, and 2 minutes after the messages were sent until they were read. Yeah, whenever I lay out traceable, legitimate proof of who I am and what I've done, it does that. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and reconfigure. We're going down to streamline mode. All right, what kind of weird shit it's gonna? Oh, Bob Ross, cool. Anyways, okay, so I remember it being around October when, like, the first Jim Cramer thing about trying to explain credit default swaps was coming out. Okay, like when the economy was starting to tank. Okay. I had noticed already, and I had been sending them more shit, and Obama had been saying more stuff that I had said, but it was that, I remember that line about it's hard to make it to a job interview when you don't have the money to, if you don't have enough gas in your car to get to the gas station, let alone to the job interview. Like that. I'm trying to think too far ahead and focus when I'm not really in a very focused, conducive mood. But the whole idea is, don't have enough money to make it to a damn job interview because you don't have enough fucking gas to get there. But there was a specific way it was worded. And now I'm just jumbling it up in my head, so I'm gonna move on to the fucking next thing before I lose track of that. The PPIP. Okay. This plan, addressing the credit default swaps, take the last known good value. Okay. No matter how far back it goes, it should be irrespective as long as you use these following percentages. 80% government retains share, 20% management investor. So you get these big fucking stockbroking fucking investment tycoon type people, like including entire firms like Lehman Brothers and Goldman Sachs and shit, and get them to repurchase these management shares of these credit default swap packages at 20%, whatever that last known good value was. 20% of that is the price that they get into. So they retain a 20% share of it. If they make money off of their share, the government makes money off of their 80%. And that's how Obama recouped the TARP money. Welcome. Now, when I came out on a video with evidence of the severe strategic vulnerability of New Orleans, of the Isle of Orleans, as it's called, the New Orleans area, as you might consider it if you're not from around here. But basically this zone of land between Lake Pontchartrain and the Mississippi River, it's called the Isle of Orleans. And it's a very crucial strategic location. And when I pointed out how political unrest could lead to a severe problem there. This was at the point where the Confederate statue thing was in full swing, right? And I made the video that's actually now got like 11,000 views or something like that, about the possibility of an American Civil War, starting with an invasion of New Orleans. But it was when I first mentioned that possibility, I don't know if it was that particular video with the 11,000 or one before that. Boy, this headache is really getting taxing on me. Taxing on me. Anyways. It's like taxidermy, only like, I don't know, you throw them up in the sky and see what other kind of animal shapes they make. No, that would be taxonology. Never mind. Anyways. So what happened was, after I sent this fucking video out talking about how vulnerable New Orleans was, like how it could just be used as the ultimate beachhead to further a political situation of strife that could lead to like the whole separation of the entire fucking country. 2 weeks later, I see a video being circulated. Somebody on Clearview, near where the bridge goes over the river to the south, okay? There's a train bridge, all right, that goes kind of like up first, and it's like really prominent before the car bridge goes, right? You know what I mean? And they were filming that part of the bridge as this train with Bradley, Abrams, Bradley, like just a never-ending fucking train of gear going right where I said they fucking needed some. Wasn't a scheduled exercise. And then there's the horizon shot. Remember when Barry, right at the peak of the flat earth movement, when I made the Obama's accomplishments are too numerous video, a day later he took a shot of the horizon outside of his plane. And I really wish I had like made lists of different things that I would need to claim happened later. I wish I had this organized and regurgitable. That's a word, right? It is now. Because it was right after Donald Trump announced, in that summertime period, where at first, you know, like, I mean, when I sent the email, have you not been fucking following? Do you not understand what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. That's when they came out with like the first announcement that the Russians were trying to interfere with the election. Okay. But I had been wondering that for a while, because it had been since the fucking DNC hack that it seemed like they had been getting my advice. And I hadn't put two and two together until I heard later on about the debunks about this Seth Rich thing, when exactly he died. And I wonder how long he's been working for the Obama campaign and shit like that. Like, I mean, I know he's young, but how young? Fuck. and who was his predecessor. Because for me to lose touch with them, or to seem like I was losing my influence as far as what Obama was doing, right when, in the general time frame even, of his death, means that he could have been the guy that was, you know, checking my emails. But then there's some things about that that don't make sense, because I didn't fucking send my later correspondence to MySpace Obama, you know. I sent copies to the FBI and to the White House. Oh yeah. Obama was shutting down fucking Russian-owned land that was basically acting as cyber warfare beachheads in this country, and detaining and then deporting, I think, 9 different Russian spies after Trump won the election. But suffice to say, lately, the FBI has been acting a lot like they've been listening. Just in the past week. And I still have hope for a good and long-lasting friendship with China. That's all I'm going to say about that. And also, Trump is really having it in with the World Trade Organization. Yeah. Let's see. I tell them exactly how to get the best leverage they've ever fucking gotten. And I tell them in that format, this is how you investigate, this is how you get to these people. One of them I didn't mention. Wasn't even thinking of her at the time. But the first one was the one I mentioned, Michael Cohen. And they did some interesting things there that I'm not going to point out. But then they did the Maria Butina thing. And then they did Google. And then, as I was watching the Google hearing, apparently Alex Jones had been in the building. Now, if someone from Silverstein Associates has to testify before Congress, I'm gonna need to change of pants. Like, I don't know. I can't take it. It's just too good. Like, I just have a feeling that this is like going to be like a date that really, really just goes well. You and the girl hit it off, and she's gorgeous, and then like right as she wants to, you know, invite you in for coffee, she also mentions she has herpes. I'm just waiting for the herpes to pop up. That's all. Because once they pop, Never mind. You can't stop. Anyways. Hey, I'm not the one with the... there's I don't care if there's been like micro cameras on flies, okay? There be any tape of me peeing on someone, peeing on something for sexual purposes, being peed on someone, being peed on by someone, having people pee on something. I don't know what happened, but it involved pee and it wasn't personal. You know, like that's enough for me. Like you know, like I'm one of them. I'll go to the second bush. You know, like and I hope you do too. I don't want to hear it. Like close the door all the way. You know, like put a towel under there if there's tile. Like come on. Are you people without your fucking risers installed? That's why God created throw rugs. Fuck. So we couldn't have to fucking hear people pissing all the way down the hallway. And so your wife's feet wouldn't be cold as shit when she put them on you. Oh, fuck. Anyways. Have a fish tank. Or two. Or a ceiling. There you go. And some shelving. And God said, let there be throw pillows. And there were. And they were like the titties of the couch. Hashtag Jesus joke. Okay, anyways. Oh, yeah? Was he in the building for any other reason? Or was that it? It was that drama, don't they? What kitty? Did the kitty just climb on the damn fish tank? What? Oh, come on. Just fucking work. Stay. It didn't stay. Mm. Pop Tarts. I'm sure I missed the chat that I was asking for. So he had already been in the building, according to the person who had said so during the testimony. And the ambush, the run by yelling occurred, or the walk by yelling occurred after the testimony. So, at this point, he's either there to help stage this whole idea of him somehow not making millions of dollars thanks to Google. I mean, do you know how much AdSense has paid out to fucking InfoWars and affiliates? Good God. I can't believe that hasn't been brought up right now. And the fucking Google CEO with his $4,700. Alex Jones is standing there just proof of fucking that being a lie. They've set up a very complex method of laundering Russian advertising dollars. But there's still plenty that's right out in the open. And it's not Russian propaganda paying Google. It's Google paying for Russian propaganda. I mean, get this through your thick fucking skulls. Please, somebody out there beneath the pebbled sky. Google is a pay-per-click service. Okay? People with products make commercials or little images. If you click on them, Google gets paid. Same thing applies to impressions, which is if it stays on your screen long enough, that advertiser pays Google. Okay? When it comes to YouTube, where Alex Jones made himself, okay? When you watching a monetized ad, which, you know, they waited way too long after, I mean, they waited until after this cover story was deployed, basically, before Alex Jones suffered any sort of consequences. And I'm pretty sure there's still been monetized Alex Jones channels out there, because there's still monetized channels streaming American news broadcast, really channel names that are monetized, okay? Copyrighted material monetized. Just giving money to Russians, just giving money to Russians, okay? Because every time an advertiser shows an ad, remember when I used to have ads, you know? If you watch that ad for, say, 30 seconds, there is a full impression registered. And every 100 or so, depending on the market rate at the time, every 100 or so impressions will register as a penny, and so forth. So people with hundreds of thousands of views on dozens of videos every day, like you wouldn't fucking believe. Google is not being paid to spread Russian propaganda. They are laundering money for Russian propagandists, essentially. Or do you think that these advertising companies actually want, with full knowledge, their products on, say, a Sandy Hook conspiracy video? YouTube has committed a provable act of fraud and continues to cover it up with more fraud, including massive civil rights violations. You didn't think they were expecting that CEO to parade in there like nobody knew shit? Oh yeah. It's just the Russians that watch this channel. Now, I've praised you. I've given you credit where credit was due. But I told you, I taught the God of War everything he knows. But you go ahead and do you, boo. You do you. Anyways. I would just like to point out, for the purposes of the particular attention I've just gained, how annoying the fucking world is getting, thanks to the lack of things going my way. From cell phones to personal devices, you just can't get shit the way you like it anymore. Everything's got to conform to the newest standard with the newest thing, and basically we're going to be entering a market where you can't buy a household appliance that doesn't want to talk to other household appliances. And you know and I know exactly why there's different little people pushing for that to happen. And it's fucking annoying. It's, first of all, it's just a lazy way of doing something that can be done securely. It really is. And also, in failing to do it in that secure, non-lazy fashion, you're depriving a lot of people of work. All just to give people an unreasonable level of luxury. How do you expect to be judged for that? Right. I gotta have everything wirelessly communicate with my fucking home portal device thing, so I can turn my lights off from my driveway if I you know, like, come on, really? Whatever happened to the fuck clapper? Clap on, clap off. Whack on, whack, never mind. Junction, what's your function? Man, I used to have a great pair of bell bottoms. I had a pair of bell bottoms that my dad had from high school in the fucking 70s or 60s or 20s, whenever the fuck he went. Yeah. Whatever. Speaking in third person there, laddie. Oh, okay, I get it now. I was lost for a second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, like, your refrigerator and your dishwasher and your oven, they don't really have any room to be calling the girls you bring home fat. That's all I'm saying. Like, how drunk was he last night bringing home that heifer? She was so wide you could line a plane on her ass. I thought she was going to eat everything inside of me, said the refrigerator. Or possibly the trash compactor. It's a good thing they don't come up with, talking door jams, because they'd be crying as she squeaked through. Someone get the margarine! Okay. See, to me, there is big and beautiful. There is fat and happy. Okay, but then there's the people who's just like, you must fucking eat whenever someone's not looking. I got thyroid problems. Yeah. Yeah. Thyroid problems is another word for boxes of Snickers. Like, I understand eating the plastic, but could you at least take the cardboard off? Holy shit. Like, I just believe in chemistry and science. And, thyroid isn't a magical thing. You know? It does not create matter out of nothing. Anyways, I've seen some people that just like, you want to just take some time and just figure out why. But, too busy trying to get out of their way, like. Candy corn, nom, 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 nom. I'm out of cookies. I don't have my sustenance. I think I got some Pop-Tarts left. What, Dingo? I got you food. You a whole big damn bag of food. And then I ran out of cash at the store, and I had to like wait on my wife to answer a text message before I could figure out whether or not I could buy milk. Just like standing there. Just, hi. People passing shit. I wish the fucking chats would stay up for more than half a second. It's like this thing and then it's gone. It's like and then this thing and then it's gone. It's like, oh, a chat. Oh, a chat. Oh. Jeez. Anyways, put it back on the fish. Since I was staring at him. Oh, man. I think it might be productive to map out all the different contradictions of political strife that comprise Russian propaganda, just in like a little flower pattern. So it's the Zionists that are working with the Muslims, and the Jews helping the Nazis, and Mexican Catholics colluding with terrorists. Like, oh, just goes on and on. And don't forget Donald Trump, one of the prime suspects in 9/11 conspiracy, if not the prime suspect in 9/11 conspiracy. He's going to save you from the people who were behind 9/11. Okay. Alex Jones just forgot to mention Donald Trump and Larry Silverstein were friends. And not just Alex Jones. The entire Shilliverse. When I reported channel by channel, I think it took 2 different videos, the entire Shilliverse at the time, that I could at least list, you know? Just to give a big data sampling to the pattern. I had not yet realized that Donald Trump was gonna wind up a player in all this. And it took me a good while after Donald Trump became a player to realize not one of these Illuminati has ever mentioned the connection between Silverstein and Donald Trump. I just wondered one day if there was a connection. And then I found, oh, some non-trolls had figured this out. Or possibly some trolls meant to take that somehow away from Russia even after Russia was in the news. But they didn't mention Russia. They still don't mention Russia. That's interesting, right? But I was easily able to find videos of Donald Trump talking about Silverstein, of Silverstein talking about Donald Trump, of both of them talking about their great friends, their friendship. And Silverstein profiteered off of 9/11, having purchased and with a heavy insurance policy the Trade Center lease from the New York Port Authority 5 weeks before the events. He is well known by anyone who has ever even typed the hashtag 9/11truth. Yet for some reason there seems to be a conspiracy of omission regarding his connection to Donald Trump. Now, what does Larry Silverstein do for a living? Since I have some people who are listening right here. Larry Silverstein is a real estate attorney. You know what a real estate attorney does in the context of New York real estate, for instance? They take high-profile clients and they register a power of attorney. Okay, a power of attorney gives you the legal right to act as someone. Okay, what they do is they'll purchase a building for this high-profile client. Okay, with their money and everything, for a fee or sometimes a negotiated percentage of ownership, but more often than not just for a fee. Okay, that's how lawyers are supposed to operate. But we're talking about New York lawyers here, so you know. Anyways, sorry, I'm just thinking about Michael Cohen all of a sudden. Yeah, let me take 20% on. So a real estate lawyer is basically a liaison purchaser. A famous person doesn't, for whatever reason, whether it be just publicity avoidance or legal reasons or tax evasion purposes, would keep their name off of a high-profile public building, like, say, you know, the Trade Center. Now, this follows a period in which Donald Trump had invested heavily and suddenly and rapidly into New York City during a time in which there was considerable vacancies. ¿Qué pasó, Carlos? In New York City, the vacancy rate had at one point peaked at 41%, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and you know, that's a high vacancy rate in skyscrapers and shit, you know. And Donald Trump just couldn't wait to build 2 more towers, one of which was right across the street from the United Nations. And then his friend Larry Silverstein gets the Trade Center. All of this happened right after Putin took power, by the way. This entire series of events, all these towers being built, when this includes after Donald Trump lost his credit with American lenders and somehow got credit again. Remember that little period? That's this period that we're talking about. But for any of this to really make sense, not only would you need Alex Jones and the Russian propagandists never talking about this, which they've never ever talked about, Larry Silverstein's connection to Donald Trump, and they've never talked about what Donald Trump was doing ahead of time, their relationship, what Larry Silverstein, a real estate lawyer, is, what he does. So what he probably would have done in this case, considering that he's a real estate lawyer, not a skyscraper buyer. Donald Trump's a skyscraper buyer. Donald Trump had expressed interest in renovating and remodeling and rebuilding. Multiple different bids he presented to the Port Authority, to this fucking city council. models and everything. Here's what I want the new trade center, the trade center to look like. And he had talked about making these presentations on the news and everything. And then after the trade center fell, he says he always wanted it to be just the way it was. Okay? But on top of all that really suspicious coincidental activity, you would need a direct connection between Donald Trump and Al-Qaeda. Okay? Because I don't believe that fucking magical something, whatever, holograms smashed into the buildings. Okay? And even if that is the case, and I really can only consider these things impossibilities. I don't like to get convinced of anything. But even if that is the case, you're not going to get anywhere trying to make that the public account of things. Okay? I believe that we did have Al-Qaeda involvement because we had continued Al-Qaeda involvement in a lot of different things. But understanding what Al-Qaeda was to begin with is the key to me. I've already connected the Taliban to Russia in several ways. I've already effectively, through prophecy coming true, shown that the Saudis are connected to this whole Trump-Russia thing, elements in the Saudi government. That's why they had that weird consolidation of power, because, like I said, in my defense of Hillary Clinton and the foundation getting money from Saudis, there are some good Saudis that are reformists that want to make things better in Saudi Arabia. Then there are some bad Saudis who now have better power thanks to you fucking people complaining about Hillary Clinton. Good job. Good job. Well, the direct connection between Trump and the Russian mafia and Al-Qaeda is Felix Sater. Felix Sater, in the 1990s, was the CIA's informant on Al-Qaeda because he had contacts supposedly in the Russian mob that could find, at one point, according to Felix Sater's account given to, I think, BBC or ABC News Australia. I think it was ABC News Australia. Some Stinger missiles that went missing, some United States Stinger missiles that Al-Qaeda supposedly stole, and he was able to apparently call a friend, and he successfully managed to help us get the fucking Stinger missiles back from Al-Qaeda. Okay? That guy is Felix Sater, Trump associate, and guy who helped broker the Trump Tower Moscow would-be deal, which I think is razzle-dazzle. I think the Trump Tower meeting and the Trump Tower Moscow deal is razzle-dazzle. This is a fucking onion. Okay? Better yet, the analogy that people like me have always used to try to teach people of this about awareness on this particular subject happens to be the Russian doll model. You know? Here you find a story. It was a meeting about Russian adoption. You open it up. It was a meeting about easing sanctions. You open it up. It was a meeting about Hillary Clinton's emails. You open it up. It was a meeting about Synergy. Many, many layers. These people have all spread myths based on a completely false premise that the CIA was somehow behind the Taliban to begin with, when that is a foundational lie. The Taliban moved in 3 months after the government that the CIA had established took power. It was a little provisional Afghan government. The Russians left, and they equipped this religious sect called the Taliban. And the Taliban took power from the people that we put in power. And if Mullah Omar fought with the CIA-backed Mujahideen, that just makes him a fucking traitor. But if you look at what they found when they raided his house, he was all about the being a traitor, wasn't he? Traitor to everything he preached. That was for damn sure. But there's foundational myth. And the same exact people who spread that myth continued to spread myths like John McCain and Hillary Clinton backing ISIS just because this one Arab guy looked like another Arab guy. I mean, that was all kinds of shit based on one photo. And I looked through, there was only one fucking photo. Okay? Of a guy with a big fucking bushy black beard in Syria. You know, there's probably 50 motherfuckers within 100 miles of where that picture was taken that look exactly like that from that angle. That's not Europe, you know, that's not America. It's not New York City. It's not Moscow. There's, you know, family lineage there still. People from that region are, you know, pretty distinguishable. I'm not saying they all look alike, but they all sure as fuck have similar profiles. From that angle, oh yeah. And that's the angle. So you see, that propaganda was given to people who weren't paying attention to what was going on at the time. I was paying attention to what was going on at the time. What was going on at the time was Russia was fucking invading Ukraine and acted like a bunch of fucking evil terrorists. And then they had rallied a bunch of jihadis who all screamed aluminum akbars or whatever, Iggy Barnes, and 3 times. And then swearing allegiance to Putin. Okay? And that was about 20,000 troops. And I showed y'all the video. I showed y'all all my stills that I took of the video. And I had been tracking and posting still photographs in the Support Ukraine group even before this channel was created of Chechens in Syria releasing, yes, aluminum Iggy Barnes. Oh, my aluminum Iggy Barnes. Okay. My aluminum Iggy back. Something, I don't know. Aluminum back burns. Anyways. So, I mean, I've got picture after picture with linked references to the videos. You know, I'll pause the video so the channel name and the video title and the views and everything shows up, and take that photo and then scroll through and take a bunch more photos. And I got the same fucking mercenaries with the same gear, same uniform, same equipment, everything, as these fucking guys that all swore allegiance to Putin in fucking Syria, releasing people from prisons, okay, and posting videos called Chechen GoPro in Syria. I mean, not even fucking really trying to hide it. CIA made them do that, huh? Just like they founded the Taliban, right? Just like they're hiding aliens in Roswell. Because you didn't know fucking David Duchovny lived in St. Petersburg, Russia until he was 9 years old. Then he went to Canada. Then he came here. You see, the worst thing about Russian propagandists is that they're motivated by hatred of their own creations. They cause attributes in people to be manifested, and then they somehow justify their actions with those attributes. It's basically like throwing shit on someone and saying, oh, like shit. Well, yeah, because you just threw shit on me. Congratulations, you're a monkey. I'm the one who got Trump elected. I can throw shit on you. And then complain that you stink. Are these the people that they used to call Neanderthals? Like, that should know better but don't? Somehow, despite incredible cranial capacity, they remain numbskulls. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the situation. There's been plenty of Western powers to go into a place and release prisoners, but those were generally political prisoners. Okay? I don't know what kind of prisoners that these guys released. I just know what they wound up doing afterwards. And I know that the guys releasing them were fucking mercenaries to begin with. But that, you know, not as any sort of direct opposite comparison, but if you look at British in India, us in Vietnam, I don't know if that's public information or not, but I know from stories around campfires with fucking Vietnam veterans that the first Navy SEALs that were deployed in Vietnam created the South Vietnamese military by releasing and hiring prisoners. Because you got to do what you got to fucking do. Anyway. Sometimes. Lots of spy versus spy blackmail. Oh yes, we wouldn't know nothing about that on this channel. Right? Like internet trolls, Russian trolls, Putin and the defense minister and Lavrov himself all seem like guys who watch like Bond flicks or even the Austin, what's his Sauron. Oh yes, Two Towers, an excellent idea. Anyways, I'll take no apology from the muses. But when you consider the prevalence of that one myth that the CIA created the Taliban, you can actually extrapolate a definitive series and a series of possibilities of just how far Russian propaganda can actually spread, and how much of even me, for instance, okay, as much shit as I have found to be Russian propaganda or possible Russian propaganda, or the result of a chain of events and ideas set about by an initiation of Russian propaganda or Russian support for indigenous propaganda, I'm still pretty sure that there's some things that I believe that I haven't registered, that I've learned in history books and shit like that, that aren't fucking true. There's probably still some things that I have not fucking figured out yet. I gotta assume as such, you know. That's fucking kind of a disturbing thought. As much as we've already uncovered. The Russian trolls are probably stroking their little beardlets like, yes, you bet your ass we do. Take it easy, Suzuki. Yep. Is that what it is? Am I still sleeping on Australia time? It's about bedtime for me, too. I gotta time it just right before I get too hungry. I have to eat something before I sleep, because I've got promises to keep. Yes. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Ow. Oh. Okay, I have krilled myself. Oh. Alright, I'm fine. Just had to krill for a moment. Remember that krilla? Say, y'all got that movie, that krilla? That krilla, yo. That krilla. You know about krilla? That krilla. Go like this. Bye. Thou hast been bidden name Felicia, and for the sake of thy calling, thou hast been bidden. Adieu. She gone yet? Anyways, well, that was a dramatic salutation. I know, person who isn't there. Let's look at the fish tank some more, because I'm obviously getting camera delirium. Tell him, Dingo. Tell me, Dingo. Stop acting like a putz. Anyways. So where there is a cover-up, there's generally a crime. And if you have basically people connected to the perpetrators and connected to those who would take advantage off of that crime, say A widow collect insurance money, right? And her boyfriend, well, say her boyfriend's out of the country, you can't touch him right now. Or say her boyfriend's a president. But there's this other guy. He happens to be the hitman's cousin. And he's friends with her boyfriend. I suppose you could find out if her boyfriend was the one who hired the hitman by going and talking to the cousin. Let's say if the hitman and the cousin and the wife and the boyfriend were all telling people that the boyfriend and these people don't even know each other. Boyfriend and the hitman don't know each other. Boyfriend and the guy's cousin don't know each other. None of these people know each other. And they all know damn well good and that fuck they do, they know each other. They all fucking know each other. They are boys from way back when. Just picture know each other. All different people in the prime of suspicion don't know each other. The FBI might have no other reason to suspect that widow hired the fucking hitman through her boyfriend's cousin to kill her husband. But then they get all these people keeping a story straight that's bullshit. So they know damn good and well somebody was murdered. And it wasn't just this guy randomly killing this lady's husband. All these people that have been lying about it they're lying because they share guilt. They're lying because they all know what really happened and they don't want to go down for it. Larry Silverstein and Donald Trump happen to be friends. And Trump happens to have a very close associate who happens to know. Some guys that like to make the planes go boom. I prefer cars that go boom. We're Tigra and Bunny, and we like... Never mind. Sorry. Hoping to catch somebody off guard with that one. Where there's a cover-up, there's a crime. And where there's a conspiracy to cover something up, to cover up an association, a relationship, you have the criminals pointed out for you. by the conspirators. Thanks, Alex Jones, for pointing out the real perpetrator of 9/11. Perpetrators. Because after all, we gave the order to pull it. So if all this Russian trolling and fake news and bullshit that I was saying should have stopped, would have stopped, y'all wouldn't be going down for this. The whole fucking world's gonna know. That Putin's alliance with Donald Trump and international jihadist terrorism is what knocked down the towers and brought the whole fucking world into chaos. So once again, guy bragging about getting Trump elected. I'll be sure to have a fucking fresh batch of cookies waiting for you. I hope you can eat them by the fistful. Howdy, Jermaine. Welcome, welcome. And yes, of course. Big surprise that it would be glitching then, right? But anyways. Fuck is this video even supposed to be about? Oh yeah, random shit. Never mind. Fuck it. What do y'all want to talk about? See if I can even, get more people here on the chats. Oh, let's for the record, I start getting more from the chats, and the chat has changed, and now it fucking hardly works worth the fuck. Well done. Well done. The oceans are dying. Fucking people are starving everywhere. Y'all just got nothing better to do. Good job. I'm going to read that for you, Carlos. In Spain, things are getting worse. Communists are getting violent and crazy. Independentists are getting more radical by the day. Oh, the design I was working on earlier. No spring break plans. We don't even have fucking Christmas presents, really. Like, spring break plans. Like, good one, but the design earlier was a sort of like a multiplex luxury condominium / office building multi-use facility. Would even make a good treatment center. It would be able to, if used as an emergency room, this facility would allow 8 ambulances, or actually more appropriately 4 ambulances, because ambulances are pretty fucking big. It would allow 4 ambulances to both deliver and park indoors, and would allow said ambulances to survive floods by floating with the structure. The garage itself is attached and designed to float with everything. And there is a sort of a linear hull structure and double doors, and it's hooked up for many different uses, and would make a damn fine, luxurious set of condos as well. But I'm not going to show that drawing because it's too valuable. But the fucking closets and the bedroom / offices are huge. And it's just basically a expansion of the modular component structures. Yeah. Basically just shipping chunks of a building at a time. These ones are just more chunks. And this is a very efficient design process that can lead to lower construction costs and improved construction quality. And I welcome anyone to try to apply different approaches to doing the same thing. So that's why I have no problem talking about the basic theory behind this stuff. But the idea is to be able to hire less skilled laborers and prevent that particular labor market from going robotic. Being able to allow laborers of all skill levels to have a job that they can handle, basically. And keeping people who shouldn't be on the job site off the fucking job site. Because you show me one guy who's fucking around, and I'll show you 4 pros who aren't working at full efficiency. You know what I'm saying? That guy that's fucking around, you know, he might have a wife and kids too. And he just might not have the attention span. Okay? So you put him on the fucking assembly line. So here, have some headphones. Play some Skinner. Turn it up. Ah, wow. I do not consider that a valid question. But, yes. I am potato, I am potato, I am potato. Jesus, you're malicious. Hi, I'm Steve. I have a car. It's in a tree. Just kidding. My name's not Steve. Even though it looks like it's the future, it's really a long, long time ago when there were knights and they got into fights using sabers of light. Please remember, even as things look so familiar, that it's a galaxy far, far away. Alien DNA walking around every day and no one notices. Oh, pretty rain. Can y'all hear that? Oh, bad time for me to have to cough. I apologize. I know you can hear that. Sorry. That dripping you're hearing is a roof leak. A little jug with a funnel sticking out of it. By little, I mean a fucking 5-gallon jug with a cut juice bottle as a funnel. Because it just doesn't want to drip in one place over there. I don't know. Like 3 different fucking drips. All just far enough apart. They call him Flipper, Flipper. The hell? Oh, look, I got channels. In a storm, no less. Whoa, something just went wrong with my picture. That's fucking crazy. Okay. That was weird. Alright. Let's see here. Hershey's. Attention, Louisiana residents. That's me! Oh, open enrollment. Cool. Judge Mathis. Oh shit. What the fuck did that even say? Oh. Women. What is this about? Oh, Girl Scouts. Okay, cool. Wait, all of them were Girl Scouts? Cool. Night Court. Holy shit. Oh, it's Bull. Wow. I can't even remember how the damn theme song goes. Da, 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 da. Maury. You are not the channel. Okay. This fucker here is gonna make me hungry. Elmo! Alright, 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 alright. No. Neville's only part wuzzle. Sean and Alex Vlogs. Are you a potato? But I am a potato, deep down inside. Oh wait, no, I just have to take a shit. Cause cheese is yummalicious. I don't know if you realize, but that's an actual song that, you know, my kids have forced me to watch. I'm trying to teach them to not show me these things by basically ensuring that they get really old really quick. So eventually they just stop teaching me these stupid little things so I can stop using them back. Like dapping. Oh, don't dap at me, motherfucker. I will do some embarrassing looking shit. You will just be sorry that you are associated with me in any way. And I'll do it in front of their friends. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll dap slap myself right in front of their friends. Look how talented. Look how suave. But then it backfires, and then I get the fucking I Am Potato song stuck in my head. Because cheese is yummalicious. That's just fun right there. Come on. Cheese is yummalicious. Because I mean, after all, cheese is yummylicious. Let's just be real. Wait, who must have Irish blood? Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. Fucking Tim's awesome. He must. Tribe of Manasseh poster child, right? Like cross between Irish and Manasseh. So it'd be Ephraim and Manasseh, or the more like Swedish and fair-skinned. The more it's the tribe of Dan, you know. But Tim, he's probably got all three, probably all four tribes of Europe. If you ever like have a car that needs pushing, or something like really fucking heavy that just, you know, needs to be casually tossed aside, he could probably help you out. That's a big dude. And he fucking rocks on an acoustic, man. Emily's a lucky lady. Yeah, I can't imagine Tim ever calling anyone to pull out a stump for him, you know? He just probably just go grabs the whole tree in one hand, just fucking yanks it out the ground, you know? Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell pussy, give me some. I mean, yeah, you should have told me I got you laughing. I would go right for you there. She's gonna wind up telling him to use that line. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell pussy. Give me some. Yeah, see, the Ephraimites and the Benjaminites were very similar looking people. But the Ephraimites, or that impish, elfish looking set of facial features, like it was more extremized. Um, and they were usually smaller than the Benjaminites. Um, Benjaminites being extremely tall and slender, like most of me. Um, Danes being fucking Danes. I mean, Danites, you know, Danes. They're Danes. Look at them. They're fucking Danes. Get out of their way, quick. You know? You won't be able to reason with them. And Manasite is like a Dane that doesn't need to work out. And generally known for their just happy Buddha like characteristics. Ephraimites are climbers and tree dwellers. Climb right the fuck up a side of a mountain. You see a guy looks Irish, but just like a little bit Jewish or something like that. Just like a little bit of a kind of a weird extra elfishness to him. And he just loves to rock climb. There you go, you have an Ephraimite. Right? That's where I get my fucking tree climber, man. I see a fucking a tree that just begs to be climbed sometimes. Just, oh, look at that thing. Like I actually start to salivate. Like I'm like, I have a hunger to climb the tree. Benjaminites would be more trees specifically. Less in the mountains. Known for craftsmanship and making boats. Carpenters, as it were. And all were tribes of Gaul. And then you have the development of different dialects of Proto-Gaelic into Celtic Gaelic and Latin and Germanic. And of course, English. English seems to me to be a deliberate language. A language that was an attempt to unify a disparate people. But then the degradation of the houses and the denial of the stewards and the puddin' pops and blah blah blah. And then the kings of Europe started acting more like sultans instead of noblemen. And that was 1,000 years ago. Seems like only yesterday. Oh, I missed. Didn't move it up in time. Oh, didn't move it up in time. And that's why I keep the backup reserve of paper towels. Made it right on the edge of the fucking trash can. So it just ran all down the side of it. Oh, God. Using my entire reserve. Fuck. Okay. Crisis averted. Anyways. And now I'm gonna pop this big pimple on camera. Just kidding, just kidding. I don't even think I have a big pimple to pop. But, no. I wouldn't do something like that for views because it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't get any views anyways. My wife fucking loves to watch those videos. Every time I look over at her phone and she's watching one of those damn videos, I scream out loud. Like, I'll just be like, hey, what you doing? Ah! Just, fuck. Why? Like, I understand the urge to do it, or, like, you know, get the shit out of your fucking body and everything, but to watch people you don't even know, I'm getting a little bit nauseous just thinking about having watched. Just, fuck, ah. And apparently that's a popular thing here on YouTube. Just people watching zits get popped. Just big fucking disgusting cysts and shit. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Anyways. That'd be a great place to end the video. Yeah, let's just leave everyone with that thought. Apparently, the Clinton Foundation is testifying before the Congressional Oversight Committee. Oh yeah, a fucking Republican Congress, the Republican House, is trying really hard to get their licks in. Okay, they're trying really hard to make their whole story and all their distractions and everything all get all straight. You know, they're practicing out in public because a lot of them are going to wind up on trial. But they're basically in a lame duck session right now, and everybody fucking knows it. And they're going to be calling these people in and trying to put what they can on the record. They're going to get the same fucking answers they've been getting because they've already fucking talked to all these people. I mean, this shit was all done during fucking Obama years, like before election season was even close to starting, you know? Dingo. It's enough. You silly old dog. Alright, hold on. Alright. Should have brought the whole damn roll of paper out here. Clean that dingo's eyes very quick. Okay. Good boy. So what else is new? Dingo is almost 12 years old. And he's been having problems with tumors for, I'd say, the past 4 years. He's got one right there on his eye. And he's got his fucking nose is swelling up. And I'm pretty worried about him. But not much I can do until I get one of these fucking deals done. Because, you know, I'm both a stay-at-home mom and a stay-at-home flood proofing. You know, somebody's got to move the fucking buckets around here when the roof leaks and shit. But, you know, I'm disabled, so I'm not technically allowed to work. We could endanger part of our income. So I have to try to get something secure lined up. And I don't do well working for other people anyways. I have stress issues when it comes to morons. As you may have noticed. Yes, Dingo definitely looks like a dingo. If I can. There. Dingo, did you eat some food? Oh, good boy, he ate all his food. Oh, what, he wants some more? I'll get you some more. Here, take your medicine. Oh. There you go. He can't see, I don't think, anymore out of the left eye. Well, get it, Dingo. Come on. Good boy. See, his nose is just running, man. He's getting really bad eye boogers in that eye with the tumor over it. And then it looks like whatever that is growing. And I don't know what the fuck to do. Dog used to live in my car with me. The last time I was near suicide is when I found him. So I'm gonna wait one more tax season, and then I'm selling all my instruments. I'm gonna see if there's anything a vet can do. Supposedly my dad's gonna be selling his condo and coming out here. But I can't count much on that. So I'm trying to get these deals actually are in the works. I'm trying to get them. I'm trying to get the ball rolling on these deals. And I've been saying for the longest that real estate is going to be the first move we should make. And that's speaking for everyone who's been donating and is otherwise going to be investing tax returns. Local friends. And now we've got some connections to make it happen. And hopefully my wife is having a good day at work. Because today is our anniversary. We've been married 4 years now. Wow. Yeah, we've known each other 30 years, give or take a few trillion. Literally went to different schools together. And went to the same school without realizing it. You know, like we were supposed to both move back to America, and I had lived in Alabama, so when she moved back to America, like, as far as I'm concerned, she used magical powers to make her parents move back to fucking Alabama, so that when we moved back to Alabama, we would be together. We'd be able to find each other. When I moved back, I didn't go back to Alabama, I went to fucking Houston. Whoa, Black Betty, Bamaland. Whoa, Black Betty, Bamaland. She moved real fast in Bamaland. But anyways, that goes all the way back to 1984. Okay? So that's, poof, 34 years. Jeez. After that, I went and lived in Australia for a little while. My dream. Like, up until that point, like, my dreams were like fucking Muppet Babies episodes, you know? Like, they all had, like, a purpose, and I would see her every time, and we'd go fucking traveling together, basically. We didn't go to the restaurant at the end of the universe, but we had a picnic at the beginning of the world. And by picnic, I mean Smarties. And that's, you know, nutrition. Perfectly viable food for a deity. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You used to be able to live a day off a motherfucker. In 2011, oh yeah, Smartie a day. Easy. That now boggles my mind. Oh, well, that just makes me hungry thinking about it. But that's how fucking non-corporeal I had gotten in 2011. Smartie a day. For old time's sake. So yes, one of my little dark hopes there was going 6 days a week, eating a Smartie a day as if it were manna from heaven, okay, and actually eating the occasional actual manna from heaven. Dot on your hand, just a little fucking dot, like an orb almost. Lands. This is when reality was fucking falling apart. I'm like, well, fuck. At that point, if I could live for several days at a time, off of nothing but coffee and a couple Smarties. Why not? I felt immediately satisfied. Didn't get hungry again until the next day. Gave Kira one too. Something worth getting her to talk about. Anyways, the hope, yeah. The hope was that maybe it's just hunger hallucinations, right? Too bad I found all the proof. Yep, hunger hallucinations don't show up on camera any more than fucking crazy does. Because it's just another form of crazy. So it shouldn't fucking show up on camera. And it sure as hell doesn't lead you to actual things hidden in history. Especially when those things hidden in history are basically like a guide to fixing all the woes of the world. Like, here's how everything went wrong. Oh, it's a story of every fucking lifetime I was reincarnated into. Oh, great. So that means that only I know this shit. And the world needs to know this shit, or else everyone's pretty much fucked. No pressure. I'm getting hungry. I'm starting to get cranky about shit. But yeah. When Kira started remembering things that she thought happened on the coast of Yugoslavia as being shit that I remembered from New Zealand, I looked at her hair for a while, and I remembered looking at Maggie's hair, and then I reached out and I grabbed her hair, and I said I always wanted to do that when I was little. And then I lifted her sleeve, and I poked it. Because she's got the pyramid right there. If there's any new viewers to explain, my wife has the same symbol that the Chinese flag has on it. It's those 5 stars as birthmark freckles. And it used to be 3, and at that time, back then, it became 5. And that symbol is the same as the alignment of the celestial orbs on a Freemason symbol chart, or a Freemason apron, or a wall plaque, or you have the 4 pillars, and you have orbs on each one, and you have the sun, right? Well, those 4 orbs and the sun are exactly what she has on her arm. And well, she was the incarnation of the goddess who gave me this wand in a dream, and it later appeared in reality. So, you know, I had to poke her to make sure she was real. Too, yeah. The one with the natural ancient Egyptian symbols that grew into it. Yeah. The one that happened to have showed up in New Orleans while apparently being made of eucalyptus. But there are a few eucalyptus trees in New Orleans. The one that I put in a box, last box on the left, on the moonwalk, in the French Quarter, by the tree that I used to sleep in, where I had found it to begin with, or in America, after having left it in New Zealand. Okay. This one remained in that position, apparently, from the late 90s until after Hurricane Katrina hit. And when I found it in the same exact position that I left it, they had already pulled that tree up. The wand was just sitting right there. I'm like, holy shit, that's my stick. And it lived with me in my car for a while. Let's see what the numbers say today. Five, 7, and the last one's blank. Huh. That's weird. But anyways, by all rational accounts, that wand should just be a stick lying in my backyard near Wirral Bay in New Zealand. But when I first picked it up in 96 or 97, I immediately grabbed it exactly as I grabbed it when I was a child, around this end, to make sure that I could stab the buttress into my hand and hit this nerve right here that, well, what an odd place. Well, anyways, so when I picked up the stick, I had to, like, feel it again, right? I'm like, no. And that's when crazy powers were awakening in me to begin with, and I have, like, numerous eyewitnesses as to my ability to basically control someone else's body, okay? Through direct domination of their consciousness. And let's just say, my first big romances didn't go so well. And I was becoming quite the bitter young man. And I put this in that box in the French Quarter as a symbolic gesture, because I basically surrendered any power except that which God required of me, okay? Because I was sort of overindulging what had become an ability to prove that Satanism and witchcraft were not the way, basically. Which includes when, you know, the head of the coven at my high school was trying to fuck with a storm, and I just kind of made it go sideways as we locked eyes with just a wave of my hand. Oh! Damn. I'm stiff. That's what she said before she told you her name was Sam. Anyways. Oh boy, my protein skimmer needs to be fucking cleaned. It's got a geyser from the little hole on top. It's just kind of making a little sculpture. Put some paper mache on there. Sell it on eBay. Paint 2 stripes on it to say it was made by Gucci. Yeah, it should be rotten. I mean, the damn thing should be rotten to begin with. I mean, I've had the fucking thing for how long? It's just a stick. It's never been treated with anything. It's had blood on it. Is blood, rainwater, salt water. Not even enough salt water. Like, salt water would be a good idea. Salt water would help, but you know, like, as much as I failed to wipe off my hands, I don't use this on my tanks or anything. Probably should, though. Little lolly. Now what I would do, back on those old videos, is I would put a ring with a crystal on the wand. And then balance it in the same exact place. That's what that video was meant to show. And then, oh, hungry and tired. I don't think I can raise my spirit energy at will. No, I'm just making myself more hungry. But anyway. Truthfully, I don't understand what this is supposed to be for now. There are accessories that it's supposed to equip. But the best I could do in 2011 when I was trying to research things was I looked up to see if there were any Maori wands, if Australians or New Zealanders had any such thing. Right, plus 10 magic points. 1 MP cost. Anyways, but the best I could do to verify what this was and that it actually did relate to my mystic path or whatever the fuck aliens have been doing to me lately. Um, you know, I gotta remain skeptical, fully human. Hello. Um, where was I? Blah, 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 blah. I looked up whether or not Maoris, that's the native New Zealand tribe, had wands. I did not know if they had wands. Yes, they have wands. You want to guess what they look like? Go see. They look like this, only not nearly as old. This is, I mean, look at this fucking thing, man. You might notice the all-seeing eye is upside down on this one, and what's right side up is the Underverse with the fairy. It's just a stick, man. It's supposed to just be a fucking stick. I'm not Jesus! It's just a stick. Okay. Oh man, I'm running out of time. Get my ass to bed. Like, am I sure it won't just be okay if, like, I just shut the fuck up and just... I don't know. Just work. It's just... never mind. Not my job. Not my job, senor. I mean, fuck. Talk about an uphill battle. Woo! That's staggering enough to make me give Rudy Giuliani eyes. Of course, I'm not hanging from the ceiling, so it's, you know, hardly recognizable. That and, you know, I don't look like a dead pigeon fucked a slice of melted pizza. Anyways. What? Dead pigeon got incorporated into a piece of pizza? I don't know. I think I'm being far too scientific about these things. Let's look at the fish tank some more. I think I'm not seeing the chats again. I hope I'm not seeing any Nazis in the chats. Come on. Ah. What about it? what has the fuckery accomplished now? Or unaccomplished, should I say. They don't actually accomplish anything, they unaccomplish things. Oh, a link, okay. K connection? Explain. Don't post links without explaining them thoroughly, because any possible spam or links to videos containing viruses that you may not even be aware of will be deleted. But that's mostly just because you're new here and you don't know any better. It's okay. But bear in mind, I'm also a retired IT pro. All right, y'all. We are about to wrap this here shindig up. Kuchner connections to World Trade Center. Very nice. Please go and edit your comments if you can, or comment again on them and put that description up there so people will know what that link is for, please. And thank you. Excuse me. But I gotta get going. I need to get some food because I waited too long. I'm like feeling woozy and shit, and all the talk about Smarties got my appetite up. And it's been since like the challenge was issued that I've had the ability to just like call a fucking grain of mana down. But that was pretty sweet when it happened. Anyways, so thanks again, everybody, for the wonderful AOL-like chat room experience. I'm digging it, and I'm sure our new viewers are finding it entertaining as well. And I encourage any new viewers to come in, say hello, introduce yourself, tell us about your fish tanks, tell us about where you live, where you're from, and what brought you to seeing through all the bullshit. And feel free to ask questions about any commonly known conspiracies, and I'll go ahead and tell you the real truth behind them as you bring them up. Because pretty much between me and Conway, we're gonna be familiar with most of them. Conway and I, excuse me. Gotta be familiar with proper grammar terms. Anyways. Yeah, and once I get back on some normal devices, I need to put some of y'all back to content managers. I was trying to prove that basically nobody else was fucking with my channel, like none of the people I haven't met in person before, and so I removed the channel. Like, I even removed Joey, y'all, so nobody take that shit personally. I even removed Joey. Okay, if I fucking removed Joey, y'all know he was my fucking son. used magic just to get him here. Anyways. But soon, when I get a fucking computer that can do it, and of course when they sort out all the Google Plus bullshit, I'm gonna put some of y'all back as moderators who were moderators, and we'll refrigerate the moderator raters or something. I don't know. But until then, we'll be back next time on the same fake TV channel at the same fake time. Or wait. To the Batmobile. Goodbye, y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you know, occasionally call me Chicken.